Chelmsford City 2, Oxford City 1. City manager Mark Jones joins me. Mark, if we're honest, the goal at the end there didn't really make any difference in the game. It was probably a game that Chelmsford deserved to win.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we didn't really sort of create a chance, did we? To be honest, I don't think we made their keeper make a save, in 90 minutes, which is unlike us. It was a difficult surface out there, it's very bumpy, very hard. A lot of the time the ball was up around your chest and that type of thing, and that made it difficult. But we can't complain about that. Crikey, up until we had our 3G pitch, our grass pitch was probably the worst of them all. So it is what it is, and I think they sort of showed a little bit more physicality than us today. They seemed sharper to the ball. A lot of first balls they won, a lot of second balls, and we sort of huffed and puffed. And I didn't say that, I couldn't say that we didn't sort of try or anything like that, but we were just sort of a few % off of our normal levels today. And I think Chelmsford sort of looked like the hungrier team today, which is a little bit disappointing for me to say. Having said that, they are sort of high up in the league table. They're going for sort of, to secure their playoff positions, and Chelmsford have been up that top sort of 4 or 5 all through the season. They've been very consistent. They've got some good players. Murphy and Fenwick up front are a handful. Whelpdale and Rate on the wide positions. Are very powerful, very direct. As I say, I think we were a tad maybe fortunate to come in 0-0 at half time. Obviously, they had a couple of good chances that they perhaps should have scored. So, I think overall today, you've got to say Chelmsford deserved it. We sort of were a little bit, just a little bit off of it, for whatever reason. Maybe it was a sort of, a case of, two teams, one sort of going for something and the other one sort of mid-table, and, a nice sort of spring afternoon, and we never really sort of got out of third gear. A little bit, so that's disappointing, something we've got to look at, but as I say, at the end of the day, I thought Chelmsford deserved it.
Well, you certainly can't fault the efforts of your players there on a warm afternoon, but perhaps the surface being a little bit bumpy, quite a few misplaced passes, balls sort of going over the top and not quite getting through to the target man.
No, that's right. Yeah, and I felt we looked a little bit panicky on the ball first half. They are quite aggressive on the press, and they've got some good legs in there, and they do sort of get after you. And I think at times our players were sort of a little bit panicked by that, and we couldn't really beat the first press on too many occasions. Didn't show an awful lot of quality, and it just sort of enabled them to sort of get on top of us a little bit. And there was a little bit of a lack of quality from us today. I thought sort of in the second period of the first half we showed a little bit. A couple of times we got sort of cabby down the sides and that, but we never really created a good chance. And you got to look at the overall play. They created the more opportunities, didn't they? They had a few there, and we struggled to create today. So but we've come into this game off the back of a couple of good wins, and it wasn't to be today. If you're going to get a result at a place like this, you're going to need all of your players to be, bang on their game. And I think we just had, a few players that were just a little bit off the pace today, and you can't afford that when you come to Chelmsford.
A little positive point, not all the goals come from Kabi Shimanga. I know it was last minute, but that's 3 goals in 3 games for Kyron. He's a bit underrated, really, isn't he? He goes about his business and scores his goals, and he very rarely lets you down.
No, Kyron's done well for us, really, overall. He's an honest player. He's got good physicality, and we've been talking to him, for most of the season about his sort of end product, and that's sort of the area we've been working with him. He took his goal well. It was a good finish, wasn't it? We had a bit of luck there with it ricocheting off of one of their players, but we did finish it well. Yeah, and that's what Kyron's got to keep working on. He's got to keep, we've got to keep him grounded, keep him honest. When he gets a little bit carried away, is perhaps times when he comes off in his game. So he needs to be sort of analytical. And but no, Kyron's done okay for us, and he's played in a few different positions and helped us out earlier in the season when we were struggling at full-back and those types of things. But yeah, it was a poor start to the second half, wasn't it? It was our kick-off, and we went back to Jonesy, and he just took a little bit long on it, and then they got a throw in, and then we didn't really get out of our half, I don't think, and then they scored about 90 seconds in. It was our kick-off, and we wanted to play the ball back to Jonesy and then up the line to give ourselves a chance of getting there. I'm not a great fan of when you take a kick-off and you just whack it out of play deep in the opponent's half, but had we have done that on this occasion, we might not have conceded the first goal, but a lot's happened after that, obviously. But yeah, that was very disappointing that we spoke at half-time, and we sort of said a few bits at half-time, and then before we'd even got out of our own half, we were 1-0 down, so that was disappointing. And then obviously the second goal, to be fair, the big centre half there, but he hasn't scored many left foot volleys like that, so we just didn't really sort of get close enough to the ball. But it is what it is. Today, you have to hold your hand up when you've been sort of beaten, and I think not well beaten, because there wasn't an awful lot in the game, but I just thought they were a bit hungrier, a bit sharper to the ball, a little bit sharper all over the pitch really, better physicality, and they deserved their 3 points today.
Just looking ahead to midweek, you've got the Oxford Senior Cup semi-final on Wednesday against a North Lee side that actually won 4-0 away today.
Oh,
so
did they? Yeah.
So they'll be obviously keen to cause an upset, and I guess you'll go into that game with no complacency whatsoever.
No, we have to approach it with the right mentality. That's going to be key. I'm not trying to sound big time or anything like that, but I think North Lee, it's almost probably be like a cup final for them on Wednesday. There's a lot of people at the club there that used to be involved at Oxford City, and no doubt they're going to want to sort of beat us, of course. That's normal. So yeah, we've got to make sure that we approach it with the right professionalism, be in the right mindset first of all, and try and dust ourselves down from today and give a good performance Wednesday. And then obviously after that we've got a home league game against Hemel, which is another team that have got a lot of ex-Oxford City people involved, obviously with Joe as the manager and Rob Sinclair and Frankie Masunda. So there's a lot of next two games it's going to be difficult for us, but I don't want to go too over the top today with the players. We're coming off the back of a couple of good wins. We've done okay over the last 3 weeks. Today we were just, as I keep saying, a little bit off the pace for whatever reason, which we're not happy with obviously, but I can only sort of give an account of how I see it. And we wish Chelmsford all the best for the rest of the season. They've been there or thereabouts, a very consistent team over the last 2 or 3 years. They're always up in and around the top sort of bit of the league. And I think, they've, this year might be their year to sort of do it. So we wish them all of the best, and we take our medicine today and try and bounce back in the next couple of games.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you.